President Biden cracking down on so-called junk fees, and that means everything from banks and other businesses. Yahoo Finance's Jen Schonberger has the details on that for us. Hey, Jen.
Hey there, Shauna. That's right. President Biden announcing this morning that he is indeed going to be cracking down on those so-called junk fees, effectively banning banks from issuing surprise overdraft and deposit fees on bounced checks. These new measures being announced less than 2 weeks ahead of the midterm elections are aimed at lowering costs for Americans who are grappling with high inflation. Take a listen.
Today's actions are going to save consumers more than $1 billion each year. And that's a lot of money back in people's pockets. As Director Chopra shared this morning, that his team is even going further, developing rules and guidance that would take credit card late fees and other banking fees that cost Americans $24 billion a year, take them on. And we're just getting started. There are tens of billions of dollars in other junk fees across the economy. And I've directed my administration to reduce or eliminate them.
The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau issued new guidance on Wednesday, making it illegal for banks to charge overdraft fees when at the time of purchase the bank website or ATM balance showed the customer had enough money in their account. The agency says those fees likely violate the CFPB's Act's ban on unfair fees that are unavoidable to consumers. Now, the president says he's just getting started. Biden also highlighted new rule requirements the Department of Transportation is working on, aimed at requiring airlines and online travel sites to disclose fees for picking a seat, checking a bag, or any other extra add-on fees. Guys.
Okay, Jim, I want to ask you about the SEC also making some news today, passing a rule that would allow companies to claw back executive compensation. What can you tell us?
Yeah, so the SEC just approving a rule this morning that would claw back executive compensation of companies that have to materially correct financial statements, basically putting these executives' bonuses in play. The SEC commissioners voted along party lines 3-2, with Democrats voting in favor, Republicans voting against. Now, this is a financial crisis era rule that was left unfinished from that 2008 financial crisis that would require U.S. listed companies to put out a plan to recoup executive compensation if they have to correct those financial statements due to compliance failures. Now, when asked whether he thinks that this new rule could change how companies set executive compensation, SEC Chair Gensler said, quote, "I don't share the view that companies could shift toward more salaries, but while it may change how they're doing it, it better aligns it with incentives that you don't get paid on errors. I think boards would rather have incentive pay based on valid financials and take away any possible incentives to have faulty financials." Dave?
Tough to argue with that logic. Jen Schonberger, thanks so much. Good stuff.